Vanguard Live. My name is Damola Ogunshaki. We'll be giving the front pages of the dailies this morning, starting with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with higher prices loom as businesses rely more on loans to survive. Borrowing from bank rises 52% to 1.83 trillion naira. Interest payment rises 332.3% to 589.62 billion naira. You can see that on page 27 of Vanguard newspaper. On page 11, Edo Guba, Benin Chief Ikimi, Senators, NLC Chairman emerged PDP delegate, Labour Party aspirant form alliance to secure ticket. You can see that on page 11. Nigeria needs spiritual help to solve challenges. That's according to Pastor Adeboye. And here, according to Lakemfa on page 17, to Odia, the reading was a sort of homecoming to him. The greatest asset of Nigerian writers is unity, which can be further solidified by readings, performances, workshops, and culturing the young. Now, on page 16, Ash economy pushing Nigerians to crime. That's according to Afe Babalola. And the stories above the banner on page 10, Reform. Edo will save Nigeria $40 billion spent on medical tourism. That's according to Obaseki. Rain, wintry weather caused the crash. That's coming from United States as Tinubu, Obi, Otedola, NGX, Access Bank, others, Monwigwe, and Ogubanjo. And lastly, on Vanguard newspaper on page 39, AFCON final. Elephants are champions of Africa, beat Super Eagles 2-1. Now, away from Vanguard, we move to the Guardian. Guardian is leading with existing oil firms pollute Niger Delta with 36.1 million litres of crude in 8 years. Elephants shock Super Eagles to win 2023 AFCON. You can see that on Panorama page 2. Anglican Church, Afe Babalola attacks Tinubu on fiscal policies. World Health Organization predicts global shortage of 10 million health workers. Serap sees Akpabio Abbas over 344.85 billion naira National Assembly budgets. United States begins investigation into crash as Access Holdings scouts for Wigwe's replacement. You can see that on page 6. Hardship. States in Nigeria risk a total collapse amid rising hunger, unemployment, JAPA says report. You can see that on page 7. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, Tinubu berates ASUU, others for criticizing students' loan scheme, says no going back. Now the Punch newspaper. Punch is laden with heartbroken Nigerians mourn Wigwe. Friends, well-wishers recall our late CEO's life and times. Nigeria may demand reports as United States probes crash. He was unlike other Nigerian big men, says mentee. Wigwe, exit of a banking whiskey. Tinubu, Abiodun, family, friends, one stock exchange giant, Ogubanjo. You can see that on pages 2 and 10. And here there are 3 pictures with the rider that says Nigeria's predicament not solely political. That's according to Adeboye. You can see that on page 10. 4 killed as gunmen abduct 5 in Ogun. Nigeria to become food exporter through mechanized farming. That's from the president. Stories above the banner. Eagles claim silver as Cote d'Ivoire win AFCON. Eagles save their worst performance for final match. That's according to fans. You can see that on page 31. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, Nigeria facing worsening economic crisis, says IMF. You can see that on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all we have on the front pages of the dailies this morning. Join us after the break for the analysis. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damola Ogunshaki. Joining us to analyze the front pages of the dailies this morning is Mr. Aliyu Mohammed. He's the CEO of Magnet Communications, former editor of Daily Times and Concord newspaper. Good morning, Mr. Aliyu.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. And before we talk about stories, I would like you to just quickly comment on the crash in the helicopter that claimed the lives of Albert Wigwe, the Group Chief Executive Officer, Access Bank PLC, his wife and son, including Abimbola Ogunbanjo, the immediate past chairman, Nigerian Exchange Group.
I am saddened. I feel very sad that the crash happened. It is unfortunate, but then we have to accept it as the will of God, because if God didn't want it to happen, there is nothing that anybody else could do to make it happen. But I'm sad that apart from Iwigwe, his wife and son were involved in that plane crash. Like I said when we were discussing behind the camera, that it was a bad weather that caused it, because you see there is a limit to which helicopters can fly when you have that kind of weather, frozen kind of weather. You understand? Maybe the helicopter perhaps they didn't get enough briefing from the control tower on the state of the weather. I learned there were two helicopters that took off at the same time. But unfortunately, one of them came down. It is sad, it is painful that a man like Herbert Wigwe could die so soon. I read and listened to some of the things he said before he died, shortly before he died. It was like he knew what was ahead of him. He predicted, it was like he predicted his own death when I listened to one of his tapes last week. But then we must, the aviation sector in the US, NTSB, National Transport and Safety Bureau in America, should do a thorough investigation to it. Nigerians will want to know what happened, exactly what happened. And I know they will come back with a thorough investigation that will prove that it was indeed a weather problem that caused the crash of the chopper.
May their soul rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Amen. All right, let's move away from that and talk about our stories. Well, according to Financial Vanguard investigation, Nigeria will soon experience another wave of increases in the prices of goods by major manufacturers, as most of them now depend more on loans to fund their operations, which is now resulting in higher interest payments and increased cost of production.
I'm surprised that you are talking about a higher wave. Let me give you the example of something that happened last week. I went to a supermarket. I wanted to buy a few things, and I bought those things. The next day I went there to just check the prices of the things that I bought the previous day. They had gone up by about 20%. So it's not as if Nigeria is just going to witness a high cost, a rise in the cost of things. It's like a daily thing now. Do you know how much a bottle of Coke sells now? 350 naira. Some people sell for 400 naira. When I was growing up, a bottle of Coke was selling for less than a penny. And even a few years ago, a bottle of Coke was sold for 100 naira. Now it is 350 naira. Let's even assume that Coke, well, is a big boy's kind of drink. Let us come to food. A bag of rice is over 70,000.
It's rounding up to 80,000 now.
Up to 80. That means I am not up to date. I bought one bag for 65,000 in December, and it's almost gone now, and my heart is beating about how to put down another 80 something thousand to buy what we used to buy for 20,000 naira. It doesn't make sense. The people are suffering. That is the truth. I was in traffic on Ikorodu Road, close to, what's the name of this bus stop? Before you get to the Yaba Bridge, some boys were knocking at people's windows, brazenly knocking and requesting for money and phones. I had to drop my phone In the afternoon, I was going to a party at Yaba on Saturday. I had to drop my phone under my seat and brought out a dummy phone that I always have in my car. Just in case anybody says, bring your phone, I will just give that out. But it's at a risk. What if they know that what you have given them is a dummy phone? It tells you the level of security in all over the country, the level of insecurity all over the country now. If we have found ourselves at a level where people openly, brazenly knocks at your car and request for things from you, then nobody is safe except those who have security men guarding them. I have reduced my outings a lot now. I have reduced traveling out of Lagos except by air. What kind of life are we living if you can't move around your country freely? What people hear about Nigeria, they even live abroad. What they hear about Nigeria makes them panic every day. That they are killing, they are kidnapping. I said, but where I am is safe. Safe because I don't want anybody to get worried over my safety. The truth of the matter is that you can't even say that you are safe on even the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It is a major highway linking Lagos to every part of this country.
So is it the harsh economy that is pushing Nigerians into crimes?
Yes, but I believe that the criminals amongst us are capitalizing more on this harsh economy. I have never picked a gun to rob. So why would the harsh economy push me to looking for a gun to rob people? It is only criminals that are used to criminal activities that would attribute what they are doing to the harsh economic situation in the country. Yes, everywhere is tough, things are tough, but it is not enough for a reason for anybody to become lawless. Whatever you are going through is not a life sentence as far as I'm concerned. All you need to do is to sit down and remember your priorities. If in those days before the increase in the pump price of petroleum product, you pick your car one Saturday, you want to visit a friend on Lagos Island, you can't do that anymore. Because by the time you have a full tank for 620 naira per liter and you zoom off to Lagos and come back, your phone will be half used. And so you have to be careful. That is what is going on here. In a way, the harsh economy is teaching us some lessons. It's management of funds, in management of whatever you have. I'm not saying it is the best time, but then that is the only way you can survive. If you must eat twice in a day, please do. There is no law that says you must eat 3 times in a day. I'm serious, because if you were just telling me off camera the cost of food. If you eat a plate of food for 2,000 in the morning, 2,000, and you have to, so I recommend 101 or 110. It is a survival strategy. So people should not look at the situation as something that is depressing. You are only giving yourself some health challenges if you put the whole thing on your head and making yourself look like things are hard for you alone. No, things are hard for everybody. You only need to sit down, strategize, and manage what you have, and you will survive. It is not forever. It's not forever. But again, let me say something about the system that we operate in Nigeria. The government keeps saying that we should tighten our belts. The government itself, I don't want to mention anybody's name, those in government should also tighten their belts. They are not doing that. It is only the citizens that are tightening their belts. You saw what happened when the president came to Lagos to go and pray at Lagos Central Mosque. People didn't cheer him. They came out to tell him that he didn't power. That's a man that will pass through that place before. He will be heavily cheered. People will come out to receive him very warmly. He came the last time and he was resented. It shows that the people are not happy. An average Nigerian doesn't need much from government. Let them be able to feed. Let them have a place to live in. And let them have a place to go and make money. To even make money in this country today, you have to sweat. I was at a pharmacy yesterday. A drug that used to sell for 2,500 is now 11,000 naira. If you don't have money, how do you want to buy that drug?
But we're talking about food now. Last week there was a report that the government is considering opening the border again, so that food might come in. Do you support it?
It's a good right step, but then, as a country, I think we should have planned ahead so that we have sufficient food bank. In a situation,
the food reserve, they're saying they might open it and release some
what is the volume of food there? Does government have anywhere where rice is produced? No. All those things are political statements. Where is the storage? There is no storage anywhere. Let us, if you have that storage of food, you won't be talking of opening the borders. So if you have a place where you can bring food out for the people, why are you opening the borders? Does the opening of the borders come with its own security risk? Look at the northern borders, so porous that people come into Nigeria armed and killing people in this country, and nothing is done. So if you now open the southwest borders, because the northern borders are opened, the eastern borders are shut down like we have in the west. So if you open the other borders, the security situation will be worsened. And the borders are just there. Those who are supposed to man the borders are not doing their job. All they do is to collect money. I'm sure that if they see people coming in with guns, they will just collect money from them and allow them to come in. That is the sad aspect of opening the borders. And I'm against it. We should be self-sufficient in food production in Nigeria. If we are, then let them release grains and food to be distributed freely to people.
Well, Nigeria's the popular pastor in Nigeria, Pastor Adeboye, said that Nigeria's predicament is not solely political, that country needs spiritual help to solve the challenges.
See, with all respect to Pastor Adeboye, the problem with Nigeria is the fact that we depend so much on religion. Go to China, see what they are doing. You can't get the number of churches that we have in Nigeria in any other part of the world. People are busy industrializing their country, coming up with new things. All we see here are churches and mosques. You have a problem that the solution lies in you going out to work. No, you go to church in the morning. The little money that you are supposed to use to eat, spend on food, will be given as offering. Let people go out and work. The earlier we stop taking things through spiritual angles, the better for us. If China talks about religion every day, see the solution to their problems in religion, they won't be where they are today. That is one of the problems we have. Every household, you see 10 churches, you see 10 mosques everywhere. We should stop being religious. I'm not saying people should not worship God, but let us sit down and think about what we can do with our brain It is another problem that we have in this country. Some people spend more time in churches and mosques than in research and creative endeavors. You go to church, you spend 24 hours there doing nothing, and you want to have money. Even the Bible itself says that our God himself said he will bless the works of your hand, not the sitting that you have done in churches. So people should go out and work. It's not about the spiritual problem. There is no spiritual problems here. If government gives us the right policies, educate and reorientate the people towards hard work, we will have a solution to our problems. We will have a solution, because people keep. I was watching something on the internet. A pastor asking people to raise up their phones, and that dollar will call inside. They will receive dollar alert. Does that make sense? Did you work in dollars? Are you entitled to dollar that you are expecting miraculously? Does that make sense? Well, let us cut off religion from all this, because if you don't pragmatically face the problems of Nigeria, we remain where we are. This is not about religion. It is about the ability of people to see opportunities in everything around them. This situation that we have today, some people are making money from it. Some people have gone back home to see what they can do apart from what they are doing presently. And they are doing fine. Once you have a